Everyone, how's it going? Hey, thanks for following Ayo. I'm not going to add you to, and thanks for subscribing, Snack Attack. I'm not going to add you as a friend on Discord. You can join my Discord community if you want to, but I generally don't friend people, or people, especially people I don't know. But you're welcome to join my Discord, and then we can chat in there. But yeah. All right. Hey, Snack Attack, Mr. Hernandez, Jayhawker, how are you guys doing? So today we have a roster review. Hey, DCU. Hey, thanks for the donation. Yeah, I'll add you on my list. So we don't have much to do today, but we're pretty much gonna just jump straight into roster reviews. I'm pretty sure there's not much. I do have like my dailies and stuff, but I could do those later. Hey, thanks for subscribing, resubscribing. If you don't mind, DC, would you mind dropping your ally code in the chat again? Cinnamon roll day, apparently. Really? The ironic thing with that was when I was getting my breakfast, I saw cinnamon rolls and I thought maybe I should get some of those. But I didn't. I did not. I should have probably. If I would have known it was cinnamon roll day, I would have got a cinnamon roll. Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Why was my Discord doing some craziness? So today was originally supposed to be my mod workshop. It was a mod workshop day, believe it or not, but he didn't show up. Like, doesn't respond in Discord. So it's a guy who's been watching pretty much since I started streaming, so he probably just has something going on, but did not get to do my mod workshop today, which is what I was originally planning for. Today wasn't supposed to be a roster review day. I'll still do a roster review stream tomorrow morning because that's my normal time, but what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? All right, so DCU, let's jump into this. So what are you hoping for, DCU, today? Like, I believe I've seen your account. Is there anything in particular you would like me to look at, or you just want a normal Captain Amazing, see what I see, say what I'm gonna say kind of review? Or is there anything like pointed or specifically you would like me to address? But happy to look at your account either way. Okay, just to confirm your direction. Well, what direction are you going to? So we have DCU here with the Echoes of the 501st. So other than SLKR, like, what are you working on right now? We have almost 6.3 million galactic power, 3.5 in characters, 2.7 in ships, a year and some change, like a year and a month time played. Okay. So you have SLKR. Shame. I will say shame on you. Shame on your family. No, I'm just kidding. No. I will say this, because I'm currently farming tickets for Leia, but I've had my gear ready for Leia for a very long time. And I could understand not being able to take them up to like Relic 7, because sometimes you just don't have the signal data, right? Because if you accelerate the ticket process, then you can unlock them really quickly. But a lot of times what you're waiting on is like signal data. So I can understand that. But I think you could have finished the gear by the time you're farming, and maybe you were doing like some other side farms or something and you just didn't have them ready. But with raid currency, all this stuff should have been ready to take them immediately to relics. I could understand the Zetas too. Your Zeta prioritization is wiggity whack. So pressed advantage isn't horrible, it's a good one, but you want Furious Onslaught first. So the next one needs to go on Furious Onslaught and then Brutal Assault. But he does need all 6. I wouldn't have gone in this specific order, but Furious Onslaught is the next one you need, and then still do Brutal Assault. Brutal Assault's still really good. So, and then yeah, give him mods. I don't like this. You can make this better. So this needs to be, I would say this should be a health primary if you can do it. So if you don't want to, you can 6-dot this. You can 6-dot it. You can work it to try to hit that last hit on speed, but or even flat offense. All of this is good actually for Ray, but I would say with your stats where they are, you're a little low on health. So if you can get a health primary here with some fatty offense percent secondary, that would fix your mods on Ray. Even though you're barely eking out 10k offense, what you're really doing is these mods right here. See how like 2.8% offense, 0% offense, except for this flat offense, which isn't good enough. 0% offense here, and then this should have health. This is excellent, but this one right here is really hurting you. This one right here is kind of hurting you, and then this one right here, if you can make that health primary, then that's gonna really juice up and get her stats where they need to be. But yeah, mods set up already. Did you equip them? You can equip them. Like, he's gear 12, he could have mods. So did you equip them? Hey JJM, how are you doing? If you equip these mods, I can look at them and tell you, just equip the mods. Like, he's geared, he's gear 12. He's believe it or not, he is usable right now. Like, he's usable. You probably have a decent chance at doing his if you're, because you might be wasting tickets right now if you aren't doing his ultimate event. I'm just saying. But let me know when he has them equipped. I'll refresh your stuff. Alright, let's look at your speeds. So Captain Rex, 321. I like this. Oh man, that's horrible, JJM. Oh, I'm happy you have your stuff already, or right now. I'm really happy that your power is at least, I'm assuming your power is back up. I don't know if you're like you know, you're like in your car or something with your phone. But I assume your power is back up. But that's unfortunate, dude. Where I live is in Okinawa, and we have those hurricanes all the time. So, all right. I wouldn't steal from Ray. I don't know what you're stealing from Ray. A health one? Maybe this one? Yeah. Yeah, that's so unfortunate. So with Captain Rex, so this one and this one is, hey, No Foreskin dude, how are you doing? So these two mods are dripping with potential. Are absolutely dripping with potential right here. So this one needs to be worked. This one needs to be worked. This one I would change, believe it or not. So while the speed is excellent, I do like a potency primary on Captain Rex, because even though sometimes you have tenacity, or you have tenacity down, sometimes they have tenacity up, and they kind of like counter each other. So the potency check will matter. So he needs more potency. Crit damage, that's fine. This, believe it or not, can be worked. Like, you can slice this, even though it's 9 speed. It's okay. Like, you could slice it once if you have the material to see if it hits. But yeah, otherwise this is all fine. I would change this. I would work these to get them up and running. Man, you're missing a lot of 6 mods. So let's start talking farming pathway here. So Padawan Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon, Relic 7, that's perfectly fine. What I need to know is how far are you from going from Jedi Knight Luke into Jabba? Because as you can see, you don't have your no to the no. Like, you have Profundity, right? You have your GL ship. You are not going Executor yet. You need Jabba. Like, Jabba not only gives you, so no on the Executor, believe it or not, like, you have Profundity. What is Executor going to give you right now? Like, yeah, that's another ship for Grand Arena and TW. That's a GL level ship, but you already have arguably the better GL ship for Fleet Arena. So you will never use Executor in Fleet Arena again. You could even beat Leviathans with your Profundity. So there's absolutely no reason for you to go for the Executor. None at all right now. So you need to go for Jedi Knight Luke into Jabba is what you need to do. Once you get Jabba, you can go JML, because JML is going to be really quick after Jabba. And then you can go for the Executor if you want to. 3 shard, yeah, then do that. But like Executor, no. There's no reason for you to have only Rey and SLK. Because if you can see here with your mods, like, you're missing a ton of 6 mods on your fastest characters. Even like characters that should have 6 mods because they're pilots. Like, you're missing a lot of these. You just have like gaps in your mods. Even your GLs aren't fully 6 modded. You need more mod material to get your account where it needs to be. So you need Jabba. You need to go for Jedi Knight Luke into Jabba. And that's going to give you 2 assault battles as well. You can just leave this where it is. So this should, believe it or not, this should, even with Snowtrooper, should be able to get you CT2 or CT3 for the assault battles. So if you don't already, you'll probably need to do suborbital strike to get that going. But this in itself, at least for the Rebel one, like suborbital strike is really important to finish that the challenge tier 3 for the Rebel assault battle. Because Baze is taunting, and you need to pretty much get days on Baze to be able to get through that first phase. So this in itself is fine, but you need to go for Jabba so that you can start getting your stop up and running. Can I check DCU's Leia requirements? I don't really care about his Leia requirements, to be completely honest. Like, even if he's close to Leia, it really doesn't matter. He has a, like, he's not ready, but Leia should not be farmed before Jabba. Like, she should not. While she's a good GL, Jabba is the most important thing in this account to get, because it's of the mod income it's going to give him. So he already has Padawan Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon, but that's not going to work. So I used to do scouting. Because I do GAC reviews, and I used to do scout reviews, but I stopped just because people weren't that interested in scout reviews. So a GAC defense review is like a scout review, but it, like, if you don't have an opponent, then I can't give you a defense, if that makes sense. Because if you're gonna do it the right way, then you need to scout your opponent, and then you can come and set your defense based on what you need for offense, or whatever your strategy is. Yeah, but Jabba needs to be your next major farm, is what I would say. I would get your Traya up and running, your Sith. So Traya, Nihilus, Savage. The Traya, Savage, your next Omicrons need to go on Traya and Savage as soon as you can. even at gear 12, they're going to elevate your Grand Arena. So I would get these two up and running as fast as possible. Nihilist is okay. If you had to, I would just place the Zetas on them. They are worth it. After SOKR, of course, but once you're done with SOKR, I would get them. I could see that you're missing a lot of Zetas, important Zetas actually, but you're wasting Zeta. Like Master Marksman is a luxury Zeta, so you really do have to, hey Digger, how's it going? You really do have to look at what you're placing so that you're not wasting your Zetas. Because do you have like Queen Amidala? Yeah, so you don't have Queen Amidala, but you placed Zetas on Master Qui-Gon, Padawan, Obi-Wan. You placed Captain Rex's Master Marksman, which is arguably a luxury Zeta. You placed a Zeta on Darth Sidious, on Rose Tico. What other ones? So you may be Zeta poor right now, but you're using your Zetas on luxury things, which isn't helping you. So you need to stop using luxury Zetas and stick. Sidious was for the raid. I don't think you need him for the raid. No, I wouldn't. I would not. If you would have had, like, no. So I wouldn't even say his Zeta is important for the raid, to be completely honest. I don't know what your separatist Sith thing you're doing, but either way, that's not the Zeta. If you had the Jedi bundle, then Luminara, this is a Zeta for the raid, because this Zeta turns them into a 500k team into a 1.2 million team consistently. So I would say you need to stop using luxury Zetas and start going with like only Zetas that are influential to your team so that you can get them up and running. And putting an Omicron on a team is worth a Zeta. Getting, I don't even remember what the Zeta does, but it's not 100% not worth it. It's a luxury. So when you are Zeta poor, you need to look at like, what is the Zeta doing? Do you need it right now? Like Resistance Hero Finn or Poe, is his Zeta necessary? I would argue like, no, it's not at all. So let's look at your resistance. So even Resistance Hero Finn, Resistance Hero Poe, are their Zetas good? Yeah, their Zetas are good, but is it a must-have Zeta? I would argue, no, it's not a must-have Zeta. They are luxury Zetas. So you can go with Zori and Finn and have those three Zetas, and then the team is pretty much fully functional. The rest are luxuries, like Resistance Hero Finn, Rose Tico, Resistance Hero Poe, all luxury Zetas. So you have to look at what you're doing. Same thing as like boss aren't bad, but you're doing luxury Zetas. Yeah, that one's a luxury Zeta, JJM. So stop doing luxury ones and do ones that influence the whole team. Like Emperor Palpatine, his lead is a very important Zeta. Darth Treya, Savage, to get their Omicrons, very important Zetas. So you have, SOKRs, important Zetas. Admiral Piet's arguably an important Zeta because it gives you more, hey Guppy, because it gives you more income. So if you are Zeta poor, Zeta homeless, then you need to start being more strict with your Zeta usage so that you can have more fully functional teams than fully fleshed out like luxury used teams. So that's all I can say about your Zeta usage, other than you are Zeta poor, but you're kind of like, you put yourself in that position. Is having both Wampa Zetas a luxury? So Wampa only needs one Zeta. So I'm in Kyber 2. I face like fully fleshed out teams. I have only one Zeta on my Wampa. I don't think Wampa needs 2. Like, you don't even have Wampa up and running. I would like I would get Wampa up and running. I would probably do like Wampa, Savage, then Treya. I would get, if you're still working on shards for if you're working on shards for Jedi Knight Luke or for Hut Cartel, then getting Treya, Savage, Nihilus up to relics is a good idea. Also, getting Wampa up and running as well. Like, Wampa only needs 1, and that's Cornered Beast to make her effective. She doesn't need Furious Foe. Furious Foe does put healing immunity, but I found that to be 100% a luxury. It's not needed whatsoever. People even say, oh, well, you need it to beat C. You do not need it to beat C. Wampa wins against C when Wampa Deception falls off. Wampa gets a counterattack, and then you attack again, and then that is usually enough damage if you ramp your Wampa up. So either way, a luxury. Furious Foe is a luxury. Cornered Beast is a necessary because it's a requirement for the Omicron. And then yeah, you should get Icebreaker up and running. It's just an Omega, but you have her at Relic 5. I would get Wampa. So Wampa, Savage, then Treya. I would at bare minimum for that Sith team, I would take Savage to Relic 5, and then put like a crit damage triangle here. If you're only gonna have health primaries as far as like 5 dots, then just put protection primaries for Savage. So if you are, because if you're only going with 5.88%, pretty much all 3 of these are equivalent to 1 6-dot mods. But if you at least put like protection primary mods here, that'll give them more survivability. So if you don't have the mod luxury to have 5-dot mods, then go with a protection primary here, and then a crit damage triangle here, and take him to Relic 5. Get his abilities up and running too with the Omegas. So that's what I would recommend. Relic 5, him. Get Sith, get there. Yeah, just those 3. So finish your Zetas on SOKR, then Wampa, Savage, then Treya. And then while you're working, and those are just like side farms as you're farming your Hut Cartel, Jedi Knight Luke and your Hut Cartel, because that needs to be your next farm, is what I would do for this account. 100%. For right now, forget about Executor. You have your Wampa, your Treya, your Savage, finish your SLKR, finish, start farming Jedi Knight Luke, finish your Hut Cartel, go into Jedi Knight Luke or Jedi Master Luke, and then you can go for your next GL ships. So that's the farming pathway that I would recommend for you, and then start getting those other characters up and running as far as the Zetas and everything. Just know, because I just did the Leia event, sooner or later you're going to need the Zeta on Dauntless to get through the Leia event for phase 2. Really horrible event. It's just the worst. Maybe I'll show it to you guys real quick, but it's just god awful. It's a god awful event. So yeah, Luthen's good. Robo Melon, what I recommend. I think he's skippable, but if you're like end game and you're just waiting on new stuff to come out, then yeah, go ahead. Hey Mad Hatter, how's it going? You did it without the Zeta? There's no way. I had like a 50% win rate with the Zeta. There's times where Vader's health was like this, like I just needed one more basic, and then he merciless massacred and then just killed my team, and he was like full health. I was so mad at that event. It really just, because you only have to beat it 3 times, and I beat it twice in a row, and then I lost like 2 or 3 times in a row, and then I beat it again, and it was horrible. I just don't like dropping tickets. I'm sure you can beat it without the Zeta, but I had to make some mods for that event. I had to put on a Zeta. It was really bad. I hated it. Hated everything about it. All right, so your ships. Let's talk about your ships here. Galactic Republic, finish your BTLB Y-Wing. Get that up and running. That's just a side farm. Separatist, you need to get your Vulture Droid and your Hyena Bomber up and running. Android, hopefully droids. You need your Hyena Bomber. The Hyena Bomber is the foundation for that fleet. Like, the Hyena Bomber dies, then your fleet is in danger of losing. That Hyena Bomber is the bottom B. He holds everything together. So, and then like you have a usable fleet right here, like 100% usable. This level of investment in your malevolence is a crime, sir. How dare you disrespect my man, the General Grievous himself, with this level? Just all you have to do, even if he's not usable on ground, is take him to a few weeks ago. So take him to gear 12. He doesn't require any Chirotech. He's pretty much free. So gear 12 him, get his abilities up and running, and even a gear 12 malevolence is very, very useful. So get this fleet up and running as soon as you can, especially with that Hyena Bomber. But like, he is a good relic character. I would relic up the General Grievous. It's just he's a really, you bought the bundles too, so you have the droids. I know you don't have them like fully invested in, but you have them. So even if you like relicked one General Grievous as like a side farm, I would say once you finish your next big farm, like getting General Grievous at least to like relic 3 would be a good farm to do. So, because that fleet is really good. Once you can at least like put some prestige and stuff into it, but bare minimum gear 12 is what you need to do with this fleet, and then try to get the abilities up and running. But it's a fantastic fleet. I think you'll realize once you have them up and running, like especially for Grand Arena. You're in Chromium, but you could, if you have this fleet even on offense, it's like a banger fleet. It can be, if you get it fully up and running, it can beat Profundities, but it can beat Chimeras, it could beat Finalizers, it absolutely dunks on Negotiators, it could beat Executrixes, Endurances. It struggles a little with the Raddus, but you can win, and Home 1. But it's an amazing fleet. So I would get that up and running. Finish those stars. Well, you could put Malevolence on defense and it would hold better than whatever junk you're putting on there. So honestly, for you should be putting Profundity on defense. So I don't know why, like if you take the Negotiator and Malevolence on offense and putting the Profundity on defense, that'll give you a really good chance of winning, especially if you start like getting some of these fleets up and being, because believe it or not, even a 5-star Malevolence, if you burner the Executor, so you throw in like a crap endurance fleet with 3 crap ships, and I mean bottom of the barrel ships, not like they're gonna die in through an AoE ship, but it requires an actual hit to kill them. Then if you do that, then you go in with the Malevolence and you can beat an Executor, as long as the Executor starts off with like everyone using basics. Then the Malevolence will win, because you're going to get to your ult. That's how you kill the Houndstooth, and you're going to be able to kill the sides pretty easy. So 100% the Malevolence is worth doing, and that's how I beat Executors when I was coming up and I had like an account similar to yours. I would burner it, and then I would come in with the Malevolence and I would kill them with the Malevolence. So 100% this Malevolence is worth investing in. Even at gear 12 and this many stars, I was able to do it. So that's what I would do. And then worst case, if it's just like the Houndstooth that's surviving, then you can come in with this Chimera and just kill the Houndstooth with the ult, even though it's like pretty crappy. If it's just like literally just the Houndstooth, you can come in with like TIE Advance, TIE Fighter, and I don't know, the Bomber or something, and then reinforce with the Starfighter and the TIE Defender, and then the Chimera will be able to ult that that houndstooth and kill him if it's just a houndstooth. So 100% you can make this work and put that profundity on defense and just print wins. So that's what I would do. But to do that, you have to invest in your other fleets. You can't just like take negotiator and profundity, because honestly, you are underperforming with your account overall for where you like, for what you have. Like, you should not be in chromium. I would say, believe it or not, my account, when I had your amount of investment of characters, I was in I would say a rhodium. Yeah, I was in a rhodium when my account was your size. And then as soon as I had 2 GL fleets, I was in Kyber. And I've been in Kyber since. So I think your account is like, gotta focus my camera. I would say your account is underperforming. So DCU, it's not about how many GLs they have. It really isn't, because you can beat GLs, but you have, because right now with your team, you could absolutely just put one team. You can put your profundity on defense, and then you could put your you don't have them, sorry. If you would have had Quadme, this Padawan Obi-Wan Master Qui-Gon, that in itself is like a really difficult, but you can compete. It's not always about GLs, because if it was always about how many GLs you have or GL fleets, I was beating accounts that have everything when I had 2 GLs, 2 GL fleets. So it's possible to do. You just have to develop your off-meta counters. You have to develop a winning defense, and you have to understand how to like maximize and play the game. And a lot of it is like maximizing, because you have a ton of fluff here. And that's why I was saying with like all these luxury Zetas are hurting you, because I was very lean. Like Emperor Palpatine should have his lead Zeta, like Wampa, all these things, Savage, Treya, all these things like can have the potential to beat like GLs. Like Wampa can beat C, Treya can beat JML, Savage can solo CLS. All these things are, you're like, well, how can you play against people that have like more than you? And it's by having a lean account and maximizing what's in your account. And part of that is the farming pathway that you choose. And the way that I develop my, because I build towards, thanks for subscribing, Joshua. So a lot of these things are when you lose a something, so like something stonewalls you, then that's a sign like, hey, I should probably farm something that I can beat that with. And you, as you're playing through your grand arenas, hey Fogley, you should be learning lessons as you lose, because every grand arena that you lose is a lesson on what you could have done better, whether it was something with your execution, something with your defense, or something that the opponent just had better that you couldn't deal with. And every single loss is a lesson of what you should do in the future so that you don't lose again. And that's how I built my account. It wasn't through losing a lot, it's through learning lessons and then developing a farming pathway that focuses not only on resource generation, but also ensuring that you have the depth in your roster and you're building smartly on, especially if they're cheap counters that can counter whatever it is that you're facing that you're losing in. Because 4 GLs is not a lot. That means at most they have what, like 2 on offense, 2 on defense. If they have 4 on defense, that means you can put something on defense cheaply that will counter theirs. So you have to look at like, what are they doing? If they're going full defense, then you have to put something in there that can stonewall them while being able to get through that. So you have to look at what you're doing and how to beat it. So Merit Night Sisters gets beat pretty cheaply by bounty hunters is a good way to do it, Carlos. So I use bounty hunters. There's a lot of things that beat it, but bounty hunters is pretty effective. Yeah, so yeah, you gotta make plans. make plans, but continue developing your fleets. You have the comeuppance, so I would like to see some, and you have effort into your Radis, but you don't, like, you have the comeuppance, it's a good fleet, you have the Radis, it's a good fleet. So after you finish your Malevolence, I probably would work on Empire, getting this TIE Defender up and running as much as you can, and then using Radis, and then getting Radis up and running after that, if you're not already working on Executor. But this is a good fleet, especially on defense, if you have the comeuppance, which you do. So if you're looking for a better defensive fleet, like I have the Radis on defense, you'd be surprised how strong it is if you have the Radis and you have the team set up correctly. So you'd have to like continue to work on these ships, the MG-100 Star Fortress, and then you can get this fleet is good. Hey, no problem, Joshua. That happens pretty often. I don't always, I stopped asking people to subscribe, but that's a problem with the kind of, like, as the feed is always fed to you, like a lot of people may not know that you're not subscribed, so, you know. But yeah, that's what I would recommend, DCU. Raven's Claw is not as important. I like your pilotless ships, very important. TIE Defender is important. Ravenclaw, not important whatsoever. If you just don't have anything to spend with fleet currency, then continue farming Raven's Claw. But I would say not super important, especially where you are. You don't even have what do you call it? Star Killer. So you don't even have a built up Kyle Katarn. So, but if you have nothing else to farm, then yeah, farm all the ships. But if you have something else that's better, then okay, yeah, that's fine. Then you have to farm them all, because you'll get Star Killer sooner or later. Hey, you got some funny symbols on there, so I'm just gonna call you Molli, but I don't know how to say your name unless you want to spell it phonetically for me. But how's it going, dude? Yeah, you just got to finish your ships, but that's my recommendation. All right, I am gonna knock out my dailies real quick, just because we're here. All right, where do you want? Yeah, I will timestamp, even though it's like 6 minutes in or something, for you to find your review. Hey, Omega. Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to help. That's what I'm in here for. All right, so today I just finished my account overview stream, so I'm not going to go too I'm not going to delve too deep into what my account's doing, because tonight I'll publish my account overview. Mommy Mandalore, so you are a rabid beaver fan. If you say Mommy Mandalore, I'm not a big fan of the Mommy Mandalore. I just call her Bo Mando, but I just think it's a little weird. She is a little older as an actress, but I don't know, just has some weird connotations to it. So, but if that's what you're into, but congratulations, it's a good farm. All right, so what do I have to do here? So I do use, where is it at? So Dexter, I don't know if you guys know this, but Dexter makes this like guide for relics. Dexter Lab, in our Discord, really great person. But it gives like guidelines on how much you need for certain farms. So I find it super useful. Like I've used Dexter's infographic for like years before I ever knew who Dexter was. So really great player. All right, very intelligent. dude. Alright, so now I am doing 100 refreshes here. I just don't have any shards I could farm because everything I need or has been released lately has been like dark side shards. So I just don't have anything to farm light side. So I'm just gonna farm pretty much all the Chirotech node, which isn't the worst thing in the world, right? So hey, SWGOH. SWGOH, every time I roll the wheel, your name is always so close, and I shuffle it like a bunch of times, like tons of times I shuffle that, and you're always like this close to it every single time. I don't know why. You're always within like 2 or 3 people of getting. Never, it's like always a bridesmaid, never a bride. That's how I feel with you and your in the wheel. Like you're always like this close, and it just never ends up happening for you. All right, ship energy. So with ship energy, actually, I have every single shard farmed except for this little guy, IG-12 and Grogu. Only 9 more shards, and then I'll be completely done with ship energy. I still do my 3 refreshes so that I can finish, so I can farm these, because they turn into Gira keypads. And they also have these, which are really good for, this is bronzium wiring. I think this one is, one of these two is, I think this one is, what is it? I don't remember, but one of them is CCBs. So it's bronzium wiring and CCBs. It's only 1 gear piece each, but it does add up over time. So that's why I do the 50 refreshes here, because it's still useful. And these are the most needed gear 12 plus pieces, but they also turn into Gira keypads. So that's how I farm my Gira keypads. So Gerda, yeah. But you can like chomp these up whenever I need them. I just chomp these things down. So as you can see, I have like 20. I don't have any relic 9s I need to do. So this will probably go towards the 2 for the 2 I need for, yeah. Oh, I actually don't need that. Oops. 19. 18, 19. Yeah, so now I have the 40 I need for GL Ahsoka, because those are my next 2. Hey Molli, thanks for the donation. I'll have to go in and look at your stuff. Wanted to go for Jabba next, change to a guild. Okay, I'll read your comment here once I do finish my dailies. But that is how I maintain enough of these to where I never have to farm them with Mark II, and I turn them into Gerda keypads. So the 50 refreshes add up over a long time. So 100% I would recommend that. Conquest. I did finish my conquest as far as all the sectors. Now I just have to farm my feats. So pretty happy with that. All right, what GL am I working on right now? I'm working on, I'm farming tickets for GL Leia. So I finished phase 2. Watch how horrible this is. Watch, I'm not going to change the mods, but look at like the absolute garbageness. This phase is like super easy. Yeah, whatever. Here, C3PO, get some turn meter. Turn meter. Do this. So this phase, the first phase is super easy, but if you go here, watch. I had like the absolute worst luck, worst RNG in the world. I want to show you how, if you guys don't have Leia, what horribleness that is waiting for you in your future. What do you have that is going to be sitting here waiting for you to, at the end you do use base. My mods suck right now, that's why they have like no protection. But watch this Garbanzo Beans here. Let's see what happens. Alright, ability block. No ability block. Vader's gonna eat my lunch here. Nope, okay. I'm still hanging in there. Let's do this. Alright, ability block? Nope, didn't even hit him. Alright. He died. She's dead. Ability block? Nope. Yeah, and there you go. So they're not modded well at all right now, but as you can see, it's not an easy fight. So the goal is to put like a bunch of crit avoidance on them, some tenacity, some potency, so that you can get that ability block on Vader. But the problem is it's random, right? So it has to hit Darth Vader twice, but there's 5 dudes there. So pretty good chance that it can, like, theoretically, right, with all things random, that it'll hit all of them twice. But it's random. Like, there's sometimes when I did the AoE, he didn't get hit once. So yeah, like it's an absolute turd of an event, like this Darth Vader. So, and there's times where he was like this much health. He even had a freaking expose for me to just like pop him one time, and then he merciless massacres for a second time, and then kills everyone like he did, and then it ends, and it's like, oh my god. So the worst. So good luck to you guys who haven't completed this one, because you're going to need that Zeta, and you're going to have excellent mods. I did put crit avoidance arrow on both of these when I went, like crit avoidance arrow, potency, and tenacity. And then I went all tenacity for him. All tenacity with him with another crit avoidance arrow. So if you have those mods, if you didn't farm your tenacity mods, good luck. Good luck. Oh, because you do need like speed, you need damage, you need potency, you need tenacity, and then you need tenacity and speed. Oh, it's like, oh, and survivability. And then you can't even mod C3PO. I had times where he just killed C3PO right off the bat, and it's like, I can't change C3PO. C3PO is a given character. He just ate my lunch. All right, thanks Guppy for the donations. We got Guppy, Molli. All right, so we'll jump into that. But this event, the worst. Yeah. Good luck, guys. Good luck. I'm sure even if you have like crappy mods, through sheer will, you can probably, yeah, John Raphael. You can probably get through it if you do that, but it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I do like doing these. It doesn't matter. He's going to, here, let's stun you if I can. So I try to keep her stunned as much as possible. It shouldn't matter too much, because I just need to get to my mini ult. I probably should have ulted there. I didn't even check to see if I had my ult. Oh well. Not a big deal. Let's do this. Yeah, I probably messed up already. Again, not the biggest of deals. Do that, and then I think my tanks should come back anyways, so if she kills a tank, should be okay. Yeah. Yep, there you go. So still not the biggest of deals, so let's do that. Kill you. And then pretty much from this point, I could just like shove it on auto if I wanted to. Here, let's kill you guys. Man. But this mirror match, I don't know. So Kenobi is actually pretty important in this next season of 5v5, especially if you have the Plocron, because it's a really strong team. As you can see, they're still doing some work to my girl there, you know? So even with the Plokron, I find it best to just like straight kill Kenobi first. So yeah, just because of all of his damage immunity and shenanigans. So basic there. As you can see, we're doing like really good damage too. So all we gotta get to is one of her ults, and then he's pretty much dead. But they're ramped pretty well right now. Do that. There you go. And then even so, as you can see, like at this point you can just auto, but really annoying fight. But Kenobi is a good way to kill those Datacron grandmother or whatever, the mothers. So that's a good way. You can mirror Kenobi. Kenobi also beats Tankron Leia pretty much on auto. You can just like auto with Plokron and then do that. I will say for those that have both, I'm pretty sure if you have both, you know, but I found that the Plokron is way better than the Ethkothkron. Datacron is not that great with Kenobi. So for that, I'm going to use it with my Qui-Gon team and just use that Kron because it like gives them tons of offense. But otherwise, like I don't think it's like as useful. And my Plo Koon is like, I didn't change his modding whatsoever, so he's like crap modded, and I found him to be like super effective. So yeah. Alright, so next we got Molli. So for Molli and Guppy, I do offer to invite you to voice chat since you're live. So if you want to, you can jump on voice chat with me. You don't have to. I'll read what you had to say and then do your roster review either way, but up to you if you want to. Either or, not a requirement, just an offer. But let me log into my stuff and then see if I can see what you guys said. But how's everyone doing today? How are you enjoying your Hell Week? My Hell Week was pretty hell because we jumped straight from, like, on the same day we launched our raid, we had Conquest and we had TB. So that was not fun. Not fun at all. You're fine to just watch? Yeah, no problem. It's just an offer. All right, volleys. Let me refresh this and see what you said. So 972-624-547. Finish JML, going for Java. Okay. Cool. Hell Week? Yeah, Hell Week. This week was Hell Week, where it's just a ton of PvE stuff we have to get through. So, yeah. Rhodium 3 with the Guardians Phoenix. So 7.3 million GP, 4.1 in characters, 3.2 in ships. 2 years and some change played. Let's see what you got. 3 GLs, Grand Inquisitor. You have Padawan Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon. So right off the bat, you need to take this Master Qui-Gon to R9. I'm sure you're doing it right now, but with Duel of the Fates, if you already have an R9 Padawan Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon, 100% worth getting him up to that, to that level, because it's going to print R9 material. You could even refresh it for 1k. It's pretty much like 600 crystals because they give you more crystals as you do the event. So 100% it's worth it. So get that guy up and running. before anything. Same thing with Queen Amidala. I left her at Relic 7. I think Relic 7 Queen Amidala is just fine. So as long as you don't need more raid participation, then 100% I would keep her at Relic 7 and then finish off. So that's priority number 1. As soon as you can, get that Master Qui-Gon to relics. He doesn't need potency, so if that's just a placeholder, that's fine. But not the biggest of deals. For droid brains, I think you could do those. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Look at Quad May. All right. So yeah, so I oh man. So you done messed up, Molly. You done messed up. Here's the first mistake I caught. And it's a big one. It's a biggie. Out of all, so Omicrons, right? So Omicrons are important. Oh, never mind. Hold on. You have 2 Omicrons, right? Oh, you have 1 Omicron. Okay, never mind. You did not mess up. My Miss Scoozy. So I am Queen Amidala. This Omicron is worth it because it increases cooldowns, and it's very important for this team. If you've ever faced this team with one with I am Queen Amidala Omicron and one without I am Queen Amidala Omicron, it is huge because this is increasing everyone's cooldown, and that makes it really hard to get around her bodyguard, because pretty much like you burn down her bodyguard, she has damage immunity, and then she brings the bodyguard back, and then it's like this whole thing, right? So if you have I am Queen Amidala, that jacks up everyone's cooldowns, and it makes it that much harder to beat the team. So I would say, if you have the ability to, I am Queen Amidala here. Hey Ryan, how's it going? I would say that's a really good Omicron to get. I would recommend it 100%. I would like to see 3PO and Chewpio's Zeta as well. Chewie's Rage is a very strong Zeta for the team. I use CLS a lot of times. I use them in 3v3, I use them in 5v5, I use them in TW, I even use them in TB. So 3PO and Chewpio, that Chewie's Rage opens up some counters because it doesn't have any turn meter mechanics around it, and it's just flat damage, and that's pretty hard to get. And a lot of times that's what I use to like just finish everything off in Conquest, whatever you're using them in. So I wouldn't say this is a luxury. I would say that's like a very good Zeta to get. Yeah, 100%. I would get that, since you have all the other Zetas you need. All right, I would get JML's last Zeta. This Indomitable Blast. All GLs should have all their Zetas, so I would prioritize that one. Then Chewie's Rage, 100%. Grief's good. I don't know if you have usable bounty hunters, but these Zetas are really good, especially once you start going for Jabba and you get Fennec, because this, at least in a difficult situation, you can still use bounty hunters, especially if they don't have Maul. Even with Maul, it's still 100% possible to use the Fennec bounty hunters to beat Lord Vader. I did it for a very long time when I didn't have any other Lord Vader counter, but Fennec Shan is useful, but you need Griefs. Sweeten the deal. That even helps with against Rogue One, because a lot of times I use Boss, Grief, Mandalorian to be Radis teams, the Rogue One team. But you do want the Zeta that pumps turn meter. So I think it's in his unique. So you want his Zeta to pump turn meter through the team, and then you want Sweeten the Deal because that's what cleanses all the debuffs. Hey, Valenci, I am accepting roster reviews. There's two ways that you can do it. There's my freeway, which is on here with my captain's roster reviews right there. So this is a random wheel. So if you put in that free request, I will say that my list, even though I'm not advertising my list anymore, the freeway, there's over like 100 people on there. So whenever I roll the wheel, you have a chance of getting one. And then, or if you donate over $5 in the description in the video, there's a donation link, then you will get your roster review today. But either one or is fine. It just depends on how fast you want to get it. So, but I will say my roster reviews are the same whether you donate or not. I will always give the same quality of review. All right, so these are a really good team, especially once you start going for, and the good thing is once you're farming for Hut Cartel and Jabba, once you save, you need a Zeta on Bush, you need a Zeta on Kursan, but the rest of them aren't really Zeta crazy. Like you don't need a Zeta on Fennec Shand. I don't have a Zeta on her. She works just fine. And you can use that time while you're working on Jabba to kind of work on some other backlogs of Zeta. So that's what I would say. But that Bounty Hunter team's really good. Oh, you need some Zetas on Darth Revan too. So I would say don't do this. See how you have like gear equipped? You can use that gear on other characters that you're prioritizing. So stop doing this, especially for like gear 12 pieces. The true benefit of a character is when you can take them to relic. That's the biggest boost in power they can get. So you don't want to waste these gear 12 pieces until that upgrade button's there. The mods on this Darth Revan is a shame, but I probably would rather have Darth Revan up and running rather than Bounty Hunters, to be completely honest. Like Revan outlasts the time, and maybe because you don't have him at relics, you don't have to prioritize them, where Bounty Hunters you do. But if you are going for Malik, then I would recommend taking him and Bastila Shan to relics. You can like relic 3 them is fine, and then just choosing, like, you should farm Sith Marauder and Sith Empire Trooper. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That's really good. And then once you get Malgus, even when you get Malgus, every single one of these, except for HK47, is super useful. I use them every single time. Even though I have a Relic 7 HK47, I almost never use them. But every one of these other ones I use, because you can go like Malgus, Sith Marauder, Sith Assassin, then you can go like Darth Revan, Bastila Shan, Fallen in a team with a set. So yeah, like 100%. I guess I would use HK47 there, but you would go like Darth Revan, Bastila Shan, Malik usually, or if you absolutely have to, you can go set Bastila Shan, Darth Revan, Malik can solo, Malgus can solo, or he can pair with Marauder and Assassin. So there's like very plug and play with 3v3 and 5v5. I usually just keep them together. If you have to, you can take out Malik, because Malik can still solo a whole team in 5v5. So just something to think about. Or even in 5v5, there's times where I'm like, okay, I can just take like a Darth Revan team, and then I can have Malgus solo a team, and I can have Malik solo a team. So the Sith Empire farm is very strong. I would not prioritize the Sith Empire farm unless you're doing Malik for the SLKR so that you can beat all the proving grounds. So if you're having trouble with proving grounds and you just can't do it, that is a way to do it. You also can do it with Sith. So if you farm, where's she at? Where are you at? Treya, where's Treya? Treya. So you, as a side farm, you need to get your Treya up and running too. So even gear 12, like gear 12 Treya, gear 12 Nihilus, and then just give her some like okay mods, and then give her Zetas and Omicron. Like that team itself can take out GLs, and it's a banger even at gear 12 and gear 12 for Nihilus. So they're really strong. 100% I would recommend getting that as a side farm up and running. You can do all the proving grounds. Okay, cool. So yeah, there you go. But I would not prioritize the Malik farm right now for you. I would side farm Treya and Nihilus, and then I would go for Jabba. It needs to be your main priority. So getting Jabba up and running. I think Kersan's probably like you can farm Gamorrean Guard. Kersan is a Cantina farm, I think, but I understand why that's not farmed yet. But your main farm should be Jabba, not Sith Empire. Because if you can beat all the proving grounds, then you don't have to worry about Malik right now, and you're not going for Leviathan anytime soon, so you shouldn't prioritize that. All right, so here's something that you do need to get up and running. So you have this farm right here with TIE Defender, TIE Interceptor, Scythe. I would Relic 3 your Thrawn, at least Relic 3 your Thrawn for this ship. So the speed, yeah, he gets a lot of turn meter pumped into him, but if this is your Leviathan counter, you should invest a little more into your Thrawn, is what I would do. So I would get this Thrawn up and running at least to gear 12, you know what I mean? Like at very minimum gear 12, but I would recommend taking him to Relic 3 just for the Leviathan counter, because he's really, really slow. You still need to do the bow farm. So where are you at with the bow farm? Because the thing is, how far away? You're nowhere close to the shards for this, so you have enough time to fit in something else in between the bow mando farm. And I don't think your guild is like right now you need to farm bow Mandalore, because even you're 7.3 million GP. It's not like you're crazy ready for, I don't know what your guild is doing, because there's other priorities. I don't know if you have Zepho or your guild's already doing Zepho. But the good thing with the Mandalorian farm is, for Mandalore is, as long as 25 people can get access to it, then there's a pretty good chance that you will unlock Mandalore, because the event is not as RNG as Zepho. So like with Zepho, if you have the bare minimum, like 30 people who are Zepho ready, chances are you're not going to unlock Zepho because of the RNG of the event and how hard it is. But with Bo-Katan Mandalore, as long as you have some people who have access to it, like the 25, chances are you guys will probably still unlock Mandalore, just because of how difficult the event is for the unlock. So, and as long as you have good guild leaders that can walk through people through it. So I would say you can fit Jabba in between that. So you can go Jabba into Bo-Katan Mandalore, and that should be perfectly fine with your farming pathway. And then side farm Chimera as well. Your ships there's a lot of holes here that you need to fill. So there's a lot of ships that you just are probably farming right now that you just need to get up and running. I would at the very least, gear 12 General Grievous again for his ship. And even General Grievous is someone I would at least Relic 3 whenever you start getting up, to start getting your fleets to a usable level. So I would finish all these ships, just as best you can, get your ships up and running. So if you can farm them. So if they're on a hard node, make sure you're farming all your ships. So your Galactic Republic is okay. When you get Anakin up, it'll be a little better, but not the worst. Your Malevolence needs work. Your Sith aren't being farmed yet, so don't ignore those. It takes a long time, but you just have to do it now. Finish your Separatists as soon as you can. But the Sith fleet is good. This MG 100 Star Fortress is good. You have a Relic Comeuppance, so you should try to 7-star this Star Fortress as much as you can, and then start getting at least some abilities for this Radis, because it's still a good fleet if you have everything else up and running. So if you have MG 100 Star Fortress and Comeuppance, then that's a good fleet. There's no reason to completely ignore it, unless you just don't have the Prestige. If you have the Prestige, then 100% I would get that up and running. And then if you can gear 12 the Thrawn, then fully upgrade his ultimate as well. Like the ultimate's good. Leviathan after Jabba/Bow, you're nowhere near ready for that. I don't know if you would be ready for that, because it depends on where you are with your Malgus and your Malgus's ship. So you can if you want to, but I would say the more practical one to go for would be for the Profundity. So the Profundity will get you the Rogue One team, which Rogue One is really good. And then after Rogue One, after you get the Profundity, maybe you farm another GL, like either JMK or something, and JMK is going to fix your fleets for Malevolence and Negotiator, and then you can go for the Executor or for the 2025 fleet, I would say. But Jabba, Profundity, another GL, so either Leia or JMK, then you can go for the Leviathan. But I think you're closer to that one. And the thing is, if you get the Leviathan, you have to be ready to 7-star it. Where if you get the Profundity works well low stars. So you can have a low star Profundity and you don't have to invest any more crystals in it, and it's going to perform fine. You can slowly get the stars. If you want the most bang for your buck for the Leviathan, you need to 7-star it. So that needs to be a factor as well. So if you're planning on just unlocking it and not investing the crystals, then the Profundity is probably better. If you're planning on investing the 28 crystals or whatever it is to get your ship to 7 stars, then the Leviathan is obviously better. But if I had your account, as long as you have a Leviathan counter with Chimera, so that shouldn't be a factor for climbing in fleets, because if you have the Profundity and the Chimera, you can beat any fleet in the game in Fleet Arena. Then that should be fine. And then so if you can secure your fleet crystals, and if it's just for Grand Arena, then if you're just taking it on offense because your Leviathan isn't 7 stars, then there's probably a better way to do it, of going for the Profundity than going for the Leviathan, because the Profundity is cheaper. It comes with Rogue One, while the Leviathan is good and better than the Profundity. You have to invest all those crystals. So that's something you have to debate. Do whatever order you want, but I would say Jabba, a GL fleet, so you can go Profundity would probably be the fastest, and then JMK or Leia, preferably probably JMK, and then you can go Leviathan is what I would do with this account. Get a Zeta on Wat Tambor. That makes him usable. Like there's times where you want to get Wat, even with like SOKR or something. So he's a useful character, even at the gear level he is. But that's what I would recommend for this account. %100%. So you can go on a Zello board, Carlos. So go on a Zello board, just Google Proving Grounds Zello or something like that, and then it'll come up with all the different ways to farm all the different stuff. Yeah, no problem. Hey Guppy, yeah, we can talk in Discord. I see you have an amazing defense there. All right. Where are you at? Where are you at? Guppy. There you are. What up?
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, my defense is great. I'm trying to drop down for the
The
Prestige quest or whatever for Sith. You have to win 10 squad arena battles with a full team of Sith.
You don't have any Sith? You have Lord Vader.
I do. Yeah, but it's all I'm fighting is.
Wow, your Sith are pretty lackluster.
Yeah, so I gotta
the
drop down a little
luster
bit.
is lacking in this Sith. You don't even have a Zeta on your Emperor Palpatine. I'm guessing you don't have Star Killer.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So what's the question? What you got?
Multiple, but
Uh-huh.
mainly for my GAC right now.
Yep.
I got pushed up to Chromium 3 because I finished Bronzium 1.
I don't
and
hear
I
that.
have.
I don't hear that very often. I got pushed up.
I know
into
it's
Chromium.
weird. It's weird.
All right.
But I have one fleet, and I put it on defense, the Negotiator fleet, and I need 2 on defense, and I have a kind of working Malevolence, but I don't know what else to put on defense with it.
Oh, 1 second. Let's see. I just gave you a review not too long ago, so you don't need any help with like your farming pathway or anything, right?
No, I know I'm doing. All I've done since then, I think I finished Imperial Troopers, ready for CT3 on both of those assault battles.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think that's all I've done.
That's good. You need better mods.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I usually for him I go all. So here's a mistake, right? So you have a crit damage triangle on Dark Trooper. If you read his kit, you'll see that he can't crit unless he has advantage. So you have to like use the, I think it's like Perfect Soldiers, and then he gains, is it Perfect Soldiers or Bombardment? Yeah, so you have to use Bombardment, Reinforcements, then he gains advantage, and then he can crit. So like 99% of the time he's not going to be critting. So you want an offense triangle here.
Offense triangle. Okay.
Yeah, and then same thing in offense cross. I was still able to make him like my second fastest trooper with a offense primary. So mine's only like 272, and that's because my Piet is like 443 or something. And if you look, you just have to be like 0.8. Like you just times by 0.8, and that's the speed you need for your second one. Because with as long as with Piet, you always have to do the Imperial Ambition, and that gives 2 buffs. So not only do you get the stack of the Imperial whatever, the what is it called? This bonus, not Imperial Failure, but you get the unique Emperor's Trap. So you get a stack of Emperor's Trap, which is the buff. But when you use Imperial Ambition, you also get offense up, and that gives your next trooper 20%. So whatever trooper that goes second needs to be at least 20%, within 20% of this speed, which isn't that hard for 304 if you look at it.
Okay.
04 times 0.8, 243. Yeah, so your max speed is kind of slow. And almost anything can do that. So your speeds overall are fine. But when you start getting like a faster Piet, then you start hitting like the 340s or 350s or wherever, or if you add in Moff Gideon, you get him fully up and running, he can go up to like the 380s. That's when you have to start doing math to see like, okay, is my second fast enough, is my third fast enough? Because the third has to be like, what is it, 0.7%, because it's like they'll get 3 buffs. So something to think about.
Okay. Yeah, I just switched them to offense.
Yeah, so yeah, but that he does need offense primaries, and you can be a little more generous with how crappy the mods are. I wouldn't say like absolute dog mods, but if you have an offense primary here, he doesn't need super fast mods. Yeah, just whatever.
Yeah, I just swapped him. He went down a little bit of speed, but he's at 253, so he still makes that bridge.
Yeah, and then Piet, you will want a suborbital strike if you value your sanity. It's like his leader 2, you'll want to get up and running, just because for these abilities it's more for the speed of the executor, but also there's a good amount of time where I've needed the days for this. But yeah, like the days isn't bad for the Zeta, believe it or not. There's times where I used it just to apply the days, but if you can't get days on bays during the rebel one, then it's almost impossible to be like, it is possible, but it's almost impossible. You're with your speeds and gear level, it would be impossible, I would say, if you don't invest that extra Zeta. So something to think about. All right, so what's your question?
Okay.
Leads?
Basically.
All right, so your negotiator should go on defense.
Yes.
100%. You don't have the executor yet. How close are you?
A lightspeed bundle away.
Disgusting. All right, so negotiator on defense, your chimera and malevolence on offense, and then fill in the gap with like a home one fleet on defense. You can also go with, I don't think you have the depth to even make an executrix fleet. Yeah, so
I think
you need to get more investment on your TIE Defender. If you just take her to gear 12 and then get her bottom, all these abilities upgraded, like her 3 on the bottom and the reinforcement, that would give you a usable second fleet for offense, because you can go like Imperial TIE Bomber, Imperial TIE Fighter, TIE Advance starting, and then you reinforce with the TIE Defender, Emperor Shuttle, and that's still a really strong fleet. Not as good, but you have a Relic Chimera if you get investment in this TIE Defender, though, in which I think you could do. I don't know what your Zeta situation is, but you can at least get her somewhat usable. But get this TIE Defender up. That would probably be the easiest way for you to get your second offensive fleet, and that's still a really good fleet.
Okay.
And then just go with Rebels on defense. Yeah, so you'll go with, God, this is crap. Han's Millennium Falcon, Rebel Y-Wing, Biggs, I guess. I don't know. This is really crap. So yeah, I guess.
Where do you farm / pull fleet currency? Because I feel like I'm struggling all the time on that.
So fleet currency is a bottleneck until it's not. So it's going to be like 2 years. And you're talking about credits, right?
Yes.
So fleet credits is just a bottleneck. The best way to get it, there's 2 ways. So I'll come back to your account. So galactic battles, you're going to get, your galactic war, you're going to get a lot of currency from here. It's something like a few 100K every day, right? Believe it or not. So this is a steady flow. You're also, believe it or not, in your fleet arena, the better you do, the more currency you can get. So if you see here, like if you're barely getting any placement, you're not getting that much, but this 200K every day really does add up. So if you can get up at least like top 5, preferably number 1 every day, that's really going to help your fleet shipbuilding, your shipbuilding materials, your fleet credits every single day.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
And then worst case, you can, but I don't recommend it, is you can buy it through this Mark 1 currency here. But I don't like people to do that, because fleet currency, the bottleneck breaks before any one of these other bottlenecks. Like if you have like baller credits from, if you have the bros, the poncho bros, and you don't have to buy credits in here, then you can use that extra Mark 1 to buy ship credits and then accelerate that. But I'm telling you, if you just focus your efforts 1 fleet at a time, then it takes a little bit of time, but the bottleneck breaks around 2 years time played. And when I mean breaks, I mean like it completely goes away, and you start using those credits to buy mods. So if you see, I stay somewhere around like 10 to 40 million credits for these, and I just buy mods with them. So, and I still haven't broke my normal credits bottleneck, at 3 years. So it took me 2 years of time played to break my ship one. It's at 3 years of play. I still haven't. Pretty soon I will. And I think it'll be a lot different now that the Poncho Bros are out and people have access. But if you can still see, I still have like characters down here that I need to level to 85 and get them up and running. So that's what I would recommend. I would not recommend you breaking them with that. I would recommend just through time being able to navigate those and just slowly get it. And the way that you do it is because there's some things you're not going to be able to break either, because you still have prestige, you still have ship omegas, so those are going to hold you back even for a long time. The purples, like these purple things, were a bottleneck for me. So right now I have like extra ship omegas in the purples, and I'm pretty much, for the most part, with all my useful characters that I use all the time, I have them all invested. But again, like my ship credits bottleneck broke a lot earlier than my ship omega bottleneck or my prestige bottleneck. Because if you look at my prestige, I'm like, I have 1400. I have all my fleets that I care about at usable levels. So I have my Executrix, my Chimera, Radis, Finalizer, Negotiator, Malevolence, Executor, Profundity, Leviathan, all fully built up pretty much, where the Endurance and Home 1 aren't maxed because I don't care about them. But the the Prestige I broke, Ship Omegas I broke, the purple abilities I broke, and ship credits I broke. But the very first one that broke was ship credits. So right now it feels bad because it holds back like your everything, right? Like, because that's like the foundation. But I promise you, if you just kind of like, I find it best to just prioritize your spending on one fleet at a time, and then just building that all the way up, and then moving on to the next one, and then building that up, and then moving on to the next one and building that up. And that's the best way to do it, rather than investing all in on, what do you call it, on like your mark currency. Unless like there's something important, like you're about to unlock the Profundity or the Executor, the Leviathan, you don't have those ship credits, then yeah, you just mark one currency. Buying them where you can is probably the best way for emergencies. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so what else was your question?
I think that's it. I think I'm
okay. So we talked about your fleets. But getting that TIE Defender up and running is going to be huge for your offense, because it's still a very strong fleet. Even though you can't get it out first reinforcement, if you can get more investment in this, like as a side farm before you get your Executor, because your Executor is going on defense. Like you'll go Executor on defense, and then I probably would still keep Rebels on defense with your Executor, and then you can go Negotiator, Malevolence, Chimera on offense, just in case. But because when you get to Kyber, you're going to need 6 fleets, and still going like Negotiator, Malevolence, Chimera on offense is still strong, because Malevolence can beat Profundity, Negotiator can beat Executor, and Chimera can beat Leviathan. So these beat FU fleets technically, and then you just put whatever you can on defense, Executor, and then Rebels and whatever else. But once you can get Profundity on offense, I do think the Profundity is the superior. Like I put Executor, Leviathan on defense with Radis, and I take Profundity and pretty much everything else on offense. So, but the Profundities like Chimera, Profundity are very key on that. So
yes. So question about that Malevolence counter on Profundity. I need is there anything specific for it? Do I need more?
Yeah, you need more
stars
investment
on that Malevolence?
Yeah, you can technically do it, especially if it's like a low star profundity. I would prefer you to have like a 7-star hyena bomber. But what you do is you
Hmm.
go malevolence, hyena bomber, vulture droid, and the spy starting. So since you
Hmm.
bought the bundle, lightspeed bundle for spy, that's good. And then you go first turn reinforcement is going to be the Imperial TIE bomber. You need to
Hmm.
get your TIE bomber fully up and running, by the way, as soon as you can.
Yeah, I just haven't been. I've still been trying to finish the Geos, their ship
TIE
upgrades, and then I was gonna do them.
TIE bomber is more important than the Geos. So if you have
Okay, I'll
Sunfac,
put them.
yeah, Sunfac's not as good. The soldier can stay where he is. This is perfectly fine. Maybe when you have soldier like, oh god, I don't even know. I don't even think my soldier's like fully built out, to be completely honest. Like he's the least important out of all of them. Like because Sunfac is usually starting, and Spy is important as the first reinforcement. Also, for that profundity counter. I never use it anymore, but depending on how the punishing one goes, I might have to use the profundity against executor, and then I'm back to having to use the malevolence to counter profundity. If you never know. So I'll just say your soldier's fine. As later on, it's whenever you can, you do want to get these abilities upgraded. But I would say for what you're gonna do, like the Imperial TIE bomber is really important, and also pilotless ships, like this is the only way to get them stronger is upgrading their abilities. So you want to always upgrade all your pilotless ships to their max. Yeah, same thing like the reinforcement here, you want to upgrade that because it upgrades the ship. So, and you want your bomber and your vulture droid as strong as you can, because it's literally the only way you can get these stronger. So upgrade these reinforcement abilities. Same thing with the malevolence. If you can upgrade all these abilities, the summons are based off the malevolence, so you have to get it as strong as possible. Believe it or not, same thing for the executrix. If you're using whenever you get the scythe, the summons are based off the executrix, so you have to get the executrix fully built up. So yeah, so the summons and pilotless ships are important, especially all your pilotless ships. So you want to get them all up and running, and then you want them all fully upgraded.
Okay, and then your opinion on when I get executor, because I'm still working on it slowly. It's just a background farm until hopefully the lightspeed bundles come out and I can literally get it the next day.
I'll say this: if the farm doesn't come out after Christmas, then you need to start farming for it. Yeah. So if Christmas comes, that's what I was gonna do. Yeah, if Christmas comes and New Year's and they go with some other lightspeed bundle kind of thing for Christmas, New Year's, and for the anniversary date, then you just gotta bite the bullet, and you need to get it up and running, because not having a usable houndstooth in your account is killer. Like that ship in itself is killer. Like you have a fully fleshed out negotiator, so you're good on that end, but not having a GL ship is pretty killer. And if you still want to wait, and if you're like, I have faith and confidence that they're just not going to do that, then you just got to keep it moving and unlock the profundity, because you can still farm the profundity, but yeah, you just gotta with pretty minimal, because you just have to farm the stars on the bounty hunter ships to get the malevolence up and running, but you don't have to like fully relic those ships, if that makes sense. And it's minimal. It's still a way to kind of like in between go with like a GL ship with having to fully commit and then just waiting for that lightspeed bundle. So that's what I would say. If like you'd want one earlier, you can go for the profundity. So right now, are you farming Jabba?
Yes, I'm doing like in between farms on the way while I'm sharding him. But yeah, Jabba's my next one. I'm finishing CLS, still trying to get Jedi Knight Luke, and then after that, it's straight Jabba.
Okay, and then if the lightspeed bundle comes out, you'll just go straight for Executor.
Yeah, if the Kylo or Rey ones come out, I'm probably just gonna still go for Jabba first before those. But when the Executor one goes, I'm going straight for that.
Okay,
or
so
the finalizer bundle, I guess.
Yeah, I would say if you finish Jabba, like you get Jedi Knight Luke, you get Jabba, and you don't have you don't have it yet, then I would say just go straight for hold on. Just go straight for the profundity, and then you can loop back. Like go Jabba, profundity, JML would be good. And then
Okay.
don't put the Omicron on Sam. Don't do it.
Okay, I won't.
It seems good and it's okay, but it doesn't last. It's like Bounty Hunters really falls out at the end. So.
Okay, last question. Sorry, I just saw it. The Poncho Bros. Mainly the Galactic Republic / Jedi area. Should I take them to Relic 7? I feel like I should.
Yeah, Relic 7's the minimum. It's just what I tell people is the debate is Relic 7 to Relic 9. So, like, do you Relic 9 them or do you Relic 7? Relic 9 is going to print free R9 material that you could actually refresh, and you should be refreshing every month. So you're going to get like 10 pretty much free R9 material, whether it's Gerda keypads or brains. So, yeah, I personally recommend R9ing them, but if you feel that it's too prohibitively expensive, R7's fine, but R9 is going to pay off in the long run, one with ship credits, because if you R9 them and refresh the node, that's 10 million credits every month that you're going to get every month. Also, you're going to get 10 R9 materials. So, you know, it's up to you. I think it's worth it, but yeah, absolute minimum, bare minimum, R7.
Yeah, I was considering taking them to R9. The only thing that's really stopping me right now is I don't really have a team for them. Because I don't have Queen Amidala.
You have Padme. You have Padme. You have Qui-Gon. You have, if you have Jedi, you can put them in the Master, or you can put them in the Qui-Gon team. You can put them in the Padme team. You can put them in any Jedi team. So even with my because they're Relic 9 and TB, I put them with which you don't have, but I put them with JMK. They're just them themselves, Master Qui-Gon, Padawan, Obi-Wan, really, really strong. Like you can put them in any Jedi team, you can put them in any, so you can put them in the Padme team, or you can put them in the Qui-Gon team. I probably would put them in the Padme team, to be completely honest. But
who would I place in that team? Would it be
anyone?
Padme?
Like as long as it's not, or because it depends, because your Galactic Republic needs to at least be Jedi Knight Anakin. It needs to have Qui-Gon, Jedi Knight Anakin, and Ki-Adi-Mundi are the core. So in 3s, that's what you use. In 3s right now, I'm actually going Jedi Knight Anakin, Qui-Gon, Eth Koth, because I have the Eth Koth Thrawn. Yeah, but in 3s you can go like Padme, Padawan, Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon, and then you can go Qui-Gon, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Jedi Knight Anakin, or Jedi Knight Anakin, Qui-Gon, Eth Koth if you have that cron. Yeah, but they're like for 5s, Padme, Padawan, Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon, General Kenobi, and then Snips. Do you have Snips? Yeah, yes. Snips. So that's probably what I would go. Hey, Krinkerson, thanks for following. Surprised
I think the thing that
yeah, go ahead.
I think the thing that's messing with me is that I have Plokron, and so he just has to fit in with basically that Padme team.
Well, Plokron's really strong, so it's not like, so you can go like Padme, Plo. You can just take out JMK or Plo if you want to, or you can go like, yeah.
Okay.
But or you can take out Snips if you want to double tank. So you can go like Padme, Plo, General Kenobi, Padawan, Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon. Or you can put Master Qui-Gon, Padawan, Obi-Wan with Qui-Gon Jinn. But yeah, I don't know. Like, but they're universal. They can go in like any Jedi team. I put them with JMLs. I put them with I don't put them with Padme because I don't use Padme really anymore. But there's a lot of things that you can do with them. But if you want a team that'll like hold really well, then I would say like Padawan, Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon. I do worry that you don't have so Malik solos. I don't know how. Maybe with Plokron it would be fine, so you don't have to worry about that. But I think if you go like Padawan, Obi-Wan, or Padme, Plokron, General Kenobi, Padawan, Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon, and you have that Plokron, if you put that on that bottom front wall, it's going to take something pretty strong to beat.
I've been taking it on offense. I threw on defense on the bottom The bottom front wall.
If you're in
gas
Chromium,
and
if you're in Chromium with 4 million GP, I would put that Padme Kron on defense. Same thing as like Qui-Gon. Like you can put Qui-Gon in the north, gas, and the Padme on the south, and I think you'd be really your opponent would struggle to beat it.
I just feel like I don't have enough for offense then.
I feel like that doesn't matter. So
Okay.
you have to, because you have to look at it this way. You're 4 million GP, right? You're in Chromium. You have to give your opponents the opportunity to lose. And putting that Padme team on defense with Plokron, that's probably like your best defense you have right now, right? Other than, unless you're putting like Lord Vader on defense. Because you have
I was putting on the
if you take
the bottom front.
Yeah, if you put Lord Vader, I would do this. I would put Lord Vader on your bottom. I would put Padme on your top. Take gas on offense. And then, because you have gas, you have Night Sisters, you have Imperial Troopers, you have Qui-Gon. You could even take Qui-Gon for offense, or you can put it on defense too on that top front wall. But yeah, like there's a lot you can do, and just put absolute junk on, like probably Qui-Gon on the bottom with Lord Vader, and then put Padme on the top, and then put absolutely like straight garbanzo bean, bottom of the barrel, piece of shit, like teams like this level of investment on the back, like just absolute garbage. If they have some synergy, that's okay. Like you can put like your Phoenix, Admiral Akbar team on there, something like that. You know what I mean? Just like this crap right here, a First Order team or something. Just like absolute junk on the back, and then you take everything else on offense. I think that would probably be best. And then still put your negotiator on defense, and then you can take your Malevolence Chimera on offense with a negotiator home one. And I think that would be really strong. Try it out. I think you'll do well.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it out.
All right. So is that everything? I think.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. All right. Thanks for hanging out and the donation.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Guppy or Joshua. All right. Thanks for the New Zealand bucks. How's it going on down there? We're actually not that far from each other. I'm in Okinawa. It's a pretty quick plane ride down to New Zealand. Relatively, right? Relatively. I've been wanting to go to the land down under. Even though you guys are like a little down and under from Australia, right? Just like right next to it. I've been in the area adjacent. I went to Palau here recently, which is in that general region that you're in. All right, Mr. Joshua, you're hatless with the Fats Empire. So I do. You're an Aussie. Nice. So Joshua, are you here? I am going to timestamp your stuff just in case, but if you're not, man, I didn't timestamp that Guppy one. Sorry, Guppy. I don't know when we started. But rainy season start. Yeah, it's pretty nice, right? I'm looking forward to it being not as hot. All right. So Joshua, do you want to jump into Discord? You don't have to. If you don't want to, absolutely fine. But we can. I'll read your request, and then we can go from there. Crinkerson, I'm pretty sure you did a request not too long ago. You did. So I'm gonna say this: don't make duplicate requests. It's super annoying. If you guys make free requests and you guys do like multiples, because you just requested on the 29th of September, which was like less than a week ago. So if you guys do put in for a free roster review, I do have an Excel document here for it. So just got to make sure I don't have my name on here. Yeah, I don't think I do. All right. So if you see here, I have all your guys' free requests here, and here's Crinkerson. Like you're like one dude. So if you guys have a free roster review, please don't make duplicates until you've received your review, because it just makes it super annoying when I'm trying to organize this stuff. And I do have no, it's okay. So it's just a lot of people do it, and I pretty much, if you put in a free roster review, I will on Discord at you, and I timestamp them on YouTube. That's you at the end. I still have to add in the ones who've requested since the last time I spun the wheel, like a day or two ago. So there's still some other people I have to add, but when I do free ones, you just have to request once around 118. Okay, cool. Thanks. Thank you, RoboMelon. You the best. All right, so it's in the realm of that time, Guppy. All right, so Joshua Hopkins. All right, so you haven't responded to whether or not you want to jump on Discord, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And if you want to, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep doing this. All right, so I don't know what your name is on Discord, Joshua. So are you? Because I don't think you're Valency. That's the newest one here. Not unless your name is Joshua Hopkins on Discord, which I will say, it's fairly common for people to use their real name on YouTube, but not in Discord. So if you can let me know what your name is on Discord, so I can read what you put in the request. You don't have to, but it would be beneficial if you did that. So, all right, if you can just let me know. We have Hatless over here with Lord Vader. Pretty interesting. 2 accounts in a row that farmed Lord Vader. Okay, 9 million GP. So the rule with, oh my god. Hatless? Okay. No worries. Atlas. That is hilarious, dude. So, very interesting account, I will say. So the rule is, if you farm Lord Vader, you farm it first or you farm it last. That's the rule. I didn't make the rule, but that's what people do. So you took that rule to the extreme because you farmed Lord Vader first and then you just didn't farm a GL afterwards. So very interesting. That's insane, dude, because man, you're not that far from me in GP wise, but I pretty much like 6. I'm about to get my 6th GL. You don't even have GL fleets. So there's a lot of work that you need to do with this account. A lot. So what's with your philosophy here? Why don't you farm GLs? Because your relic aiding stuff. Yeah, first and last. Your relic aiding stuff like Commander Ahsoka Tano, Trench, Bosk, Malgus, R2, Padme's requirement, like all of these R8s. You're like Fennec, so you're wasting all this stuff right here. All this stuff right here is kind of a waste when you could have had like some more power, because even like a lot of this stuff is good, right? There's nothing wrong with it, but you could have more stuff here. Like you don't have your Leviathan, you don't have a Profundity, you don't have a lot of your GLs. It looks like you're missing a lot of ships. I don't know if you are or not, because I can't really tell unless I really look for something, but there's a lot of stuff here. I would get this TIE Defender up and running, especially if you're looking for a counter, because you don't really have a counter for Leviathan right now, and that would be at least the start of one. Yeah, so you don't have, ironically you don't farm GLs, but you didn't even farm the Inquisitors, and Riva is like a GL level stuff without GLs. So if you can farm your Inquisitors, You'd have Riva. You probably have the Scythe shards, and then you could get your defender up and running, and that's your Leviathan counter. Hey Taco, thanks for subscribing. So if you can get that Empire fleet up and running, that would be really useful for you. At least like Gear 12 TIE Defender or Gear 12. I would prefer relics, and this is a really good counter for everything, and even like a reliable 2-shot with the TIE Interceptor and the TIE Defender for Leviathan. It's pretty good. Even without the Scythe, you can still like 2-shot it. You just need to ult the bomber, and then anything cleans it up from there. So yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Let's look at these fleets. All right, that's good. You do have the Marauder up and running, so I don't know if you use the Marauder to counter the Leviathan. It's not as reliable as the Empire, but it's still a 2-shot, right? Or it beats Executors. If you take Plo Koon to Relic 7 and you give him 6 dot mods, give him at least 5 dot mods. But if you give him 6 dot mods and you take him to Relic 7, then this becomes a reliable Executor counter. Even the supercharged like triple attackers. You're an Erodium 2, which is kind of underperforming, to be completely honest, at 9 million GP. I would hope, I get it's hard because you have the underdog, brother, you're 9 million GP. You're not the underdog, all right? You're the underdog the same way that like those creepy 30-year-old dudes who hang around like high school kids or like college kids is the underdog. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make you the underdog just because you don't want to move on. Like, that's not the underdog. You're 90 million GP, so you can't. You know, it's like you shoot yourself in the foot and join a race, and you're like, my determination to finish this race is like excellent, you know, like I'm the underdog for this race because I'm injured. It's like, no, brother, you just like shot yourself on the foot and ran a race. It's like, that's not really the smartest thing to do. And you know, you're 9 million GP in Erodium, so you're no longer the underdog. You're just like that interesting guy that like people are like looking at. So you're no longer the underdog, all right? You're not the underdog anymore. So I'm not calling him a pedo. I'm not saying he's like trying to sleep with them. I'm just saying he's trying to maintain his youth. So all I'm saying is you're not the underdog anymore is what I'm saying. So I would love to see some of this stuff. Like, I can't see it, but you can. All of these things up here, these GLs. First of all, like Padawan Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon, you could immediately take those to Relic 9. You're at 9 million GP. Take them to Relic 9. That's going to print off resources for you. It's going to give you a lot of credits. So that would be the first thing I would do. Master Qui-Gon, Padawan Obi-Wan. You can also side farm if you want to. Get that Iden up and running too for your team. So get her up and running. That would be really good for the TIE Defender. That would make and then start farming the shards on TIE Defender. And then honestly, you should go for Jabba. Like, your account is primed for Jabba. I don't know where your mods are, but how long you've been playing here. Let's look at this. So you have 28,000 galactic war battles. I don't know how you want to be the underdog when you've been playing for like so long. You know what I mean? You're not the underdog anymore. You didn't shoot yourself in one foot. You shot yourself in both feet and then tried running a race and calling yourself an underdog. Like, look at this determination I have. Like, no, dude, you're just at this point, you're hurting yourself. All right. Like, you have a lot of time played. This is a ridiculous amount of time played. It's over 6 years, close to 7. Here, let's find for years. I want to find the exact time, but you're not. This is not, you're not the underdog anymore. Your underdog times are gone. Done, gone. Yeah, 6 years and almost 4 months that you've played. 6 years and 4 months. So you're not. Let's do away with this. Have you ever seen Van Wilder? This reminds me of Van Wilder, where he just doesn't want to graduate college because he's like scared of life outside. You're pretty much like institutionalized right now. Or what's that, Shawshank Redemption, where the dude like literally like offs himself because he like doesn't want to live life on the outside because he's institutionalized. That's what you are right now. You're like institutionalized from having more GLs. You know what I mean? It's like you just want that excuse if you lose a grand arena of why you lost. You're like, well, the guy had 7 more GLs than me, or 5 more, or 6 more, and even though I had more GLs, like I lost because I didn't have the GLs. Like I had 2 less GL fleets, I had 5 less GLs. What can I do? You know, I may have been playing 3 years longer than him, but he had the advantage, so I lost. So there's nothing. But you have to move on, dude. You have to move on. You're running out of stuff to farm, right? Like you're just like farming things for, like, you could farm Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, you can farm Bo-Katan Mandalore, you can farm the Inquisitors, which are arguably, and Padawan Obi-Wan Master Qui-Gon. I would get those up and running, Padawan Obi-Wan Master Qui-Gon. But after that, you need to go for Hut Cartel. Just farm Hut Cartel, get Jabba up and running. If you want it after that, anything, like choose a GL and just farm that. Choose a GL ship and farm that. But like Poncho Bros, Jabba first, and then you can go for anything after that. JMK, Leia, GL Ahsoka, Balin Skull, Zepho, Bo-Katan Mandalore, all those are good. But you need to add more power into your account. There's a reason you're in Erodium, and that reason is like you're just lack of farming things that have power. And you have like incredible depth. Like there's a lot of depth in here of just stuff. But if you look at like your A tier teams, you have Lord Vader, which is like, Maul, Dark Trooper, Moff Gideon, Trench are like B-. Sith Empire is good. Dad Bob Boba is like a D. General Grievous is like a C unless you have like Stop, when it turns into like a B+. Starkiller? Do you have Starkiller here somewhere? I don't know. But you get what I'm saying? You even have Embo with his Omicron. You don't even have Starkiller, brother. Alright, so you're not even like, as far as like farms that, if I wasn't going to farm any GLs, I would have farmed like the Quadme team. I would have farmed the Seer Unaligned Force users with Malicos, Grand Inquisitors with Reva, teams that are like on par with GLs that you don't even have, because you're just like even Maul isn't GL level, like Seer Malicos is GL level, Reva is GL level, Starkiller is GL level, and you don't even have those. So I'm gonna say this, very irregular account, but you need to start farming higher. Like aim your sights higher and your account's gonna do better, because you're struggling to beat things because you may have, I don't know if you have like a Leia counter, I don't know if you have a like you probably have a Jabba counter, but a Leia counter, a JMK counter, like all these things that you probably see a lot, you just don't. And then your ships don't have the depth that they need to have like Profundity. So if someone threw like the FU fleets of Executor, Leviathan, Profundity, I don't think you could deal with it. So there's a lot of things that you're missing, but you've been playing for like literally, I hate doing comparisons of myself and other people, but you've been playing twice as long as me. You literally have double the playtime I have. But if we met in Grand Arena, it would not even be close to a match. It wouldn't even be close. You would be blocked off I don't even know if you could beat my ground, to be completely honest. So, except Leia. So for Leia, you can use Quadme right now, to be honest. Galactic Republic. Do you have Queen Amidala? Oh, you don't. Yeah. So Master Qui-Gon, Padawan Obi-Wan, Queen Amidala is a very strong Leia counter if you need that. So if you farm those, then that would be your Leia counter, and then you're good. Hey Blackhammer, how's it going? So yeah, Quadme deals with that. For Leia right now, Sith is okay. As far as not Sith. Hold on. What was I saying? What? So, because you don't have Starkiller either. So, and you don't have SOKR. Yeah. So you're kind of tough Lux right now. But a lot of things you could do. Yeah. Hey, thanks Darth Bakes for the donation. Yeah, but I would say that Quadme would be the easiest way for you to get a counter for Leia. And they have an excellent assault battle. So Master Qui-Gon, Padawan Obi-Wan. I don't know where your Queen Amidala is, if you just don't have her unlocked or you're finishing the last stars or something. But that team in itself beats Leia very easy. So you could use that. Yeah. So Quadme, Plo, Empire ships, yes. Also Jabba. Like, you need to go for Jabba. Jabba is gonna help you with your mods. I don't know where you have 6 years, so I imagine you probably have some mods. I do like a crit damage triangle on Lord Vader instead of protection, and you can put a protection primary here to kind of make up for that lost protection. So find a good protection primary here with high speed, put a crit damage triangle here. That's going to juice up Lord Vader. And then for the rest of these, 300. So let's look at your speeds. 359. So where's gas? Here. So you have decent speeds overall. Not bad. Yeah. 8, 16, 23, 24, 25, 26. Looks like you use 300 as like a benchmark. 26 plus 300 speed mod characters that are non-GLs is not bad. Not bad at all. So, but Jabba's just going to make that better overall. And same as the Quadme team. So Quadme, Jabba, side farm those farms that I gave you. And then Bo-Katan Mandalore is good too. So you can go for Bo Mando. That's a very strong team. Take her to R7. But after, so Bo Mando, Quadme, Plo, Iden, Jabba. Even if you want to do like Jabba before that, before Iden, you can do that. All right, no problem, DCU. Take care. So it's up to you, but you need to get Jabba as soon as you can. Yeah. After Jabba, I would start doing like just start going GL fleets. That's it. That's all you need to do. Stop farming these side stuff like GL fleets. 100%. Like Jabba, farm the best ones first too. Like Jabba, Leia, JMK, all really strong characters. Farm those. You're probably really close to SLKR too. SLKR, are you farming? Oh, like just take this dude to R7. Like, you took First Order Officer to R7 and not Kylo Ren? Like, just farm your GLs, dude. No. Like, just do it. Farm SOKR. First. Farm Rey. Unlock Rey. So unlock Rey and SOKR. Here, let me look at this stuff. You're infuriating, dude. Infuriating. Let me look at your stuff. So farm your GLs. I honestly at this point, I don't care what order you do it in. If it's a GL, farm it. You would probably need a farm. You probably need a farm Jabba as a side farm. Like just start getting them all up to relics and then start unlocking your GLs. SOKR, Ray, whatever else you need to do. So, but I would do that. Let's look at and see how far you are from these things. So Jabba can probably wait. Star Killer, you're pretty close. You have Lord Vader. Leia, relatively close. A lot of Kyrotech, so I wouldn't go for Leia. I think you're pretty much done for this. Yeah, so finish your SOKR. Finish your Rey. Like, look at this. This is like 2 weeks worth of farming right here to get Rey and SOKR. So get Rey and SOKR. You're gonna have to get Ben up and running. So get Ben and so do SOKR, then get Ben and Rey. That's your next farms. You can get the Poncho Bros as a side farm if you want to, but you need to get these two up and running right now. So get SOKR and Rey. I don't even care about Bo Mando, to be completely honest. Like, knock these two out. Just get them up and running. You need more GLs. You need more power. So get those up and running. You can get Bo. Honestly, yeah, if you want to, since you already have Bo Mando ready, like you can take her up. So Bo Mando, SOKR, Rey, Ben, Solo. JMK, you're pretty much close to ready. So after that, I would go with Jabba. Yeah, you're relatively close for Jabba's still worth it, even though you still have some stuff to do. Jabba's good. Not particularly close. So yeah, so I would go Bo Mando, SOKR, Rey, Jabba as your main farms. That's what I would do. After that, you can go JMK or Leia. Yeah, or Profundity. One of these three. It's up to you. All of them are good. Honestly, JMK would probably be good too. So if you go Bo, SOKR, Rey, Jabba, Profundity, JMK would be a good way. Or you can go Leviathan, probably. So you can go, I would do Bo, SOKR, Rey, Ben, Jabba, Leviathan, JMK, Profundity, Leia is what I would do. C, I would save for last. I wouldn't like... C is good, but like this is the order. So Bo, SOKR, Rey, Ben Solo, Jabba, Leviathan, Profundity, JMK or Leia, and then probably 2025 fleet, and then finish the other one. And then once you finish those, you can go like JML or C. Probably JML and then C. JMK seems close. Not close-ish, but 100% that's the order I would go in. These two are kind of interchangeable. What they give you is pretty much the same. They both are pretty much same power level. It just depends on Datacron. I do like JMK more than Leia, but it's up to you. I went JMK first and I'm farming Leia right now, but either one. But that's the farming order I would go for you. I would say F all the other stuff. Once you finish most of these, then you can do something like Grand Inquisitor and finish him, and Zepho for Cal Kestis once you have JMK. So yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would do here. That's the farming pathway. And don't stray from this. Just... That's me choking you. Stop doing that. Like, your underdogs are over. Pass your last class. Graduate college. Start dating someone of an appropriate age to yourself. You know, stop hanging out with those college kids. If you're getting checked for your prostate, you no longer are the underdog. You just gotta, just go into it, okay? Like just do it. I would start finishing SOKR as you're working on bow. So start farm. I would even finish these two, Kylo and Rey. Start earning tickets on them passively while you're finishing off bow. So if you can, just quickly get their requirements unlocked so you can start ticket farming while you're finishing off bow, and then just doing the events of unlocking them slowly. You don't have to like accelerate either or, but start getting their tickets so that you can start unlocking them while you're finishing off bow next week, and then you just unlock them at whatever way you want to. And if you want to, what you can do is you can finish the ultimate event on one of them. Probably SOKR is the easier of the two. So get your ultimate for SOKR first, and then put those ultimate mats on Rey, unlock Rey's ultimate, and then earn Rey's ultimate for SOKR, and that'll just make it a lot easier. Even though with Rey you can use Zori, and you have kind of like good relics, so whatever one, either or, but it just makes the second unlock a lot easier. So just get your relic, your ultimate unlocked for one of them, give that ultimate abilities to the other one, and then it makes their unlock just super easy and you don't even have to worry about it. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. Don't forget to give them their mods. Like, give them good mods. You're gonna have to steal from your other 26 300 plus. Hey Nasty Balls, how's it going? But that's what I would recommend for your account. So it seems convoluted, but if you stop focusing on wanting to be the underdog and start focusing on getting actual power into your account, I think you're gonna do much better. So in like six months, this account should be insane and in Kyber is what I expect. So just continue to work on that and you'll be okay. You should be in Kyber right now, honestly. You should have been in Kyber for the last like 3 years or so. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know, it's not about the destination, it's the journey. And you just had a irregular journey, but I think you can get there overall. All right. Very unique account though. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I like accounts that are unique. Even though it's like farm Java, there's a lot of ways that you need to go before you get there. So I like looking at accounts that aren't just like cookie cutter, and gives me a little more flex towards what you should do. I like that. Thank you for applying. I did enjoy your roster review. I really did. It was fun, entertaining. It was a good time. I don't know if you enjoyed it as much as I did, but I certainly enjoyed that one. Very irregular. So, always a goodie. Mods. No, it's crap. It's crap. All crap. The secret to farming mods is usually they're crap. Yeah. Here. This, yeah. Shard shop. Yes. 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 You enjoy any moments to make people laugh? I certainly had fun with it. So, but I think it's time. It's time for you to start investing more in your ability to climb up in GAC. And you are gonna have to invest a little into like Datacrons, and your mods are good, but I think as you start getting more of your stuff, which you're gonna get very, very quickly, so you're gonna be hurting on like Kyrotech and stuff unless you have a huge backlog, because you're gonna unlock Rey really quick, you're gonna unlock SOKR very quick, you're gonna unlock Bo-Katan Mandalore very quick, and then Jabba shouldn't be that far off. And then from there, JML is super quick too. Leviathan could be super quick. So all this stuff is going to come really quickly. And if you start noticing that you you're running out of zetas because you're unlocking these GLs too quick, that's when it's a good time to like loop in and start farming like a GL ship, because you can farm the Profundity and the Leviathan, and even if you don't zeta the pilots, or it seems like most of your pilots are zeted anyways, but the time that you put into these pilots or these ships, even if you don't put a single zeta on Radis or any of the Leviathan pilots or any of the Profundity pilots, the fleet itself is still going to be like 95% functional. So you can take the time of, if you know like, hey, I'm farming these GLs but I just don't have the zetas, then farm one of these like Leviathans or Profundity, and you can kind of like balance it that way, and then you can go back into another GL. Yeah. So, but I gave you my farming pathway, but that's what I would say is a good way to balance those materials that you just don't have a lot of. So, do you finally unlocked your Jabba Black Hammer? The first time you do it, the first time you're gonna look at these micro attenuators and you're gonna be like, how did I not? Because look at these micro attenuators. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Do you see how many micro attenuators? Can you imagine a world where you're just like, you have that many excess? Do you know how long it would take to just farm these like straight up without using the Smuggler's Run 2? It's very, very difficult. So 100%. Very, very difficult to do. So yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break, go to the bathroom, and then get some tea, and then we'll continue doing some more. So be right back, guys. Hey everyone. So I do have to head out. Gotta go live my life with the weekend. Wife has some plans. So tomorrow I am going to do another roster review stream. So we'll do it. I'm hoping around 9 a.m. tomorrow. We'll do another roster review stream. 9 a.m. my time. So probably like an hour or two earlier than when we started today. And then from there, I'll do my mod work. We'll do my roster review, so we'll be able to get some more free roster reviews in that one. Just because today I just only had time to do the premium ones. Tonight I am releasing my, what do you call it? In about like 8 hours from now, 7-8 hours, I have my account overview for the last month I'm releasing, and then tomorrow morning we'll do our roster review. So thanks everyone for hanging out. Let me see if there's anyone for me to raid in Twitch. So if you wouldn't mind hanging out for a second, we can get you guys rated out over on Twitch to, oh, hey, the Gambit podcast is on, so let's go do that. I don't think they do that on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. There you go. Let's start that raid. But thanks everyone for hanging out. A lot of fun. Always have a blast. And not a lot of viewers on Twitch. Mostly on YouTube. Alright, so have a blast everyone. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you all next time. And take care.